Welcome back, everybody. So today I am very excited because we are using a brand new tip up. It's the Clam Watchtower. It's been out for just a short little period of time, and this is the first opportunity I've gotten to use it. So we are going to go ahead and open her up, try her out, hopefully catch some fish, give some reviews so you guys can make some sort of informed decision as to whether you want to buy it or not. But let's get into it. So first off, these are not cheap. I only bought one. They are about $100. There are some places that are actually selling them for more. I was able to buy mine for right around $100. I think the place I got it was Black Friday, had a sale going on, so it was a little bit cheaper than that, but expensive. 2 to 3 times more expensive than your normal tip up. If you get a really cheap tip up, you can buy them for like 15 bucks. So hopefully this is much better than what's out there. It is lighted, so I've used lighted tip-ups in the past where you can attach the little lights to your tip-up. As soon as the flag goes up, the light's supposed to go on. For me, those have never really worked. I've tried them a couple of times. I've had flags pop, the light's never shone. Lord knows how long those fish were on the hook for, so like I'm not a fan of those. I've historically used bells, which are super cheap. You can buy 2 for like $2 or something like that, and they do a fair job of letting you know when there's a fish that bites, but occasionally if they get wet or something like that, they'll freeze, it'll pop and never make a noise or anything else like that. So yes, so hopefully this kind of fixes all of those problems, but it'll have to do a really good job for justifying the price. So it comes in this fancy box, and inside of the fancy box comes a fancy bag, which is nice. It is padded, which is something that you're going to want because you don't want to drop this. So this is what she looks like. You do have to, when it comes, there's like a little cord that goes into the slot here. You do have to push the actual spring in there. It's pretty easy. Directions on there. It pops in real nice and easy. And then you do need batteries for that. So on top of it, that is one extra thing that's, you know, beyond the bells. Bells are really low maintenance. This, you will have to have batteries. You'll want to take them out. Obviously, if you get it wet, hopefully that doesn't happen, but you do have the chance for corrosion and stuff like that. So not a deal as far as that goes, but it looks really well made. Looks nice. The components look good. We already put line on this guy. But yeah. And if it's the first time you're using it, make sure you put batteries in because you do need a screwdriver. So not something you want to find out once you get to the lake and it's already dark and stuff like that. So basically, they have a holder for the watchtower. That's basically what she looks like. Shines in 360, so it doesn't really matter where you're at, which is nice too. Sometimes with some of those other lights, they can get blocked by your actual flag. So yeah, but everything seems pretty nice on it for the most part. They do have a little tension nut on here that can kind of have, you know, put more or less tension depending on what kind of fish you're fishing for. It only has one side to the bar, which is different than most of the tip ups I've ever used. Usually they have 2 sides, a little bit more sensitive side, and then obviously one that's got a little notch in it that's a little bit more difficult to trip. But we'll see if we end up with some fish or something like that, some shiners that get taken off without it ever popping. We'll have to do some adjustments, but they have a little button on the top. All you gotta do is push that. There are 3 different colors. You got red, green, and blue, and you can kind of toggle between the 2 or the 3, whichever one you like the most. And to turn it off, after blue, just turn it off and it goes off. So I like green the most. I feel like it's the most visible. You do have the opportunity to kind of go ahead and like if you're out with multiple parties and stuff like that, multiple people that have them, you can kind of set the lights to whoever, you know, everybody designed to have their own color, which would be kind of nice. That'd be kind of cool. But I don't know how many people are gonna have all of these, but so once you go ahead and choose your color, all you got to do is pop her down, turns off, and then sets. And then as soon as you end up with any sort of fish, see if we can do this without getting hooked. Pops and it blinks. Now this looks bright and we're in the daylight, so I have to imagine once it comes dark you'll be able to see this for a long ways away. I think it said that you can see it for 100 yards, which is, I think 100 yards is what's legal to be from your tip-ups in Wisconsin. So that's perfectly fine. And I would venture to say you could actually probably see it from farther. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get her set up. We got a little bit of light left, and then we'll see if we can't catch some in dark. I did bring another tip up because obviously only having one doesn't give us great odds. So we'll go ahead and use our traditional setup. Go ahead and put on a tip up with just a bell. And yeah, let's see if we can't catch some fish. All right. And that's our first one set. So now we got to find another spot for our other tip up and wait for something to happen. I don't know if this is a false or an actual bite. We only set it up a couple of minutes ago, to be honest, so I would say it's probably a false, but it does work, and we saw it from a long ways away. I haven't seen it spin at all, so I assume that it probably is a false. And we ended up having to go to a new lake because we were at the last lake and had no bites at all around dusk, and even into dark, so we end up moving to a new lake, hopefully trying to get at least one bite our first day of using this. So yeah, I think we probably have a false. Yeah, it's not spinning at all. Yeah, there's nothing, but we'll check our minnow, see. No bite marks, so yeah, just a false. But it does work, so that's good. Get her set up again. Hopefully the next one won't be a false flag. That's about right. But for the green, at least, you can see this from forever away. And I did actually end up checking the rules. For Wisconsin, the 100 yards is actually only for open water, so tip-ups, I guess in theory, you can have them pretty much wherever you want or however far you want. You just have to react to them quickly when they bite. So set up, let's wait and see if we can't catch another one. Or at least get another bite. Well, that is it for our first night fishing with the Watchtower. Not great. We ended up with one false flag all night, so not ideal. But it does work because our false flag did trip and you could see this thing from a mile away. So that's great. It does work, but we'll definitely be out again trying to catch some more fish. A lot of the lakes I fish don't have walleye and stuff, so a real late night bite is kind of rough. I have done really well catching pike and stuff like that earlier in the night, but obviously after the first lake and we didn't have anything happen there, I just didn't have a ton of hope. But we'll come back out and most certainly use this guy again. Still works. All right, I don't care what we have to do tonight, but we're catching a fish. I've been out a number of nights and not had a single bite at all, which is weird because typically I do very well, you know, 20 to 30 minutes into dark, but not this year for whatever reason. So we're gonna try and catch one tonight. If we don't end up catching a bass or a pike and it starts getting into the dark, we're dropping this bait down using cut bait, seeing if we can't catch a bullhead or a catfish, something like that. So we are gonna do everything in our power to catch a fish today. On top of it, we're gonna go green again. The Packers are in the playoffs. I'm wearing green, our auger's green, money's green. It just makes sense. It's basically math. So we're gonna go ahead and put it down there. That looks to be about right. And we are going to hope for the best. I've got faith tonight. I don't know if that's just being dumb, but we're gonna see. Hopefully we get one before dark and then maybe a couple into dark, but that's getting greedy seeing how we haven't had a single bite. All we've had using this thing so far have been false flags. So tonight's the night to break that curse. We finally got one. I knew it would happen. It's starting to sleet, snow. Yeah. Oh, it's spinning too. Oh, it's spinning. Oh, it's spinning. That was probably a little rocky. She's hauling. Holy cow. Well, this thing works. Got him. What are you? Oh, it feels light. Oh, maybe. See if I can put on a little bit of light. There we go. What are you? I don't think it's a bullhead or a catfish. Oh, I thought it was in a stick for a second. It might be. Feels odd. Well, it's definitely bigger than a bullhead, I think. She ran. Haven't seen it. Oh, what was that? Is that a bass? Oh no, it's a pike. For a second it looked really strange. That's a good pike though. I do have a leader on it, but I did not see the hook, so hopefully it's not too deep. Ooh. Oh no. No, you did not. You did not find a tree. It found a tree. How? Oh. Get off there. Get off the tree. Get off the tree. How do they always find trees? We headed to the hole. Still on there. Get off. Listen. How do they do that so well? I still feel the fish. Oh, there we go. I got it off. Don't do it. Don't. You're not going far, that's for sure. I don't know where the hook is. Oh. I swallowed it a bit. I'll have to work on that. But there we go. It does work. He looks like he got bit by a lamprey or something like that. All right, I'll put him back in. Put the spreaders on him. Get him unhooked. We finally did it. Oh! He got me. He got me. Well, it does work. That was crazy. That was awesome. We'll probably put down, it's probably too late to catch another one. We'll probably put down a piece of cut bait and see if we can't get a bullhead or a catfish or something like that. We got a bite. It's not spinning, which is not great. Not spinning at all. Might be a false, as it wasn't a very big shiner, so it shouldn't have been, but we'll check. No, it's still not spinning, so I'd assume not. Well, there definitely was one. No bite marks. I wouldn't think it'd be a bass, but it's possible. Shoot! You remember to turn this guy off. All right, get her set up and hope we get another one. We got a flag. We got a flag. Again, we don't need the lights during the daytime. Oh, he's still there. Oh, he's definitely still there. Got that one. Oh, that feels decent, or felt decent. Come on. Oh, that's a decent bass. That's a decent bass. Come on. Oh, almost. There we go. It's a solid 2.5. Oh, not hooked too bad at all. Perfect. On. That's a nice bass. Probably a, yeah, maybe 2.5. Let him go. Finally, that's our second species on this guy. You can definitely see it during the day. Again, I don't think there's much purpose or need for it, but all right, let's get her set up. Maybe we'll get another one. We got another flag. Change the color. Oh, we're spinning. Changed on over to red. Oh God, hauling. Oh gosh. Hauling. Get him. Oh, that feels similar to the last one. Oh, did we lose him? Oh no, he's still there. He was just coming towards the hole. Is he in the weeds or? Feels similar to the last one. Holy cow, did he take out some line? There's, oh, nope, that's definitely bigger. That's a 3+. Oh, right in the corner too. Don't get me. Don't get me. He looked longer. He looked fatter too, so maybe not a 3. But got him very well in the corner though. Holy cow. Should not need pliers for that. There we go. Long, not nearly as fat as the last one. The last one was much fatter. All right. Let that, oh, calm down. Let that one go. I feel like if he was as fat as the last one, he definitely would have been over 3. He took out some line though. Holy cow. We're not fishing in very deep water. It's only like 4 foot. It's like 3 foot to the weeds, and then there's another like 2 or 3 foot. But we got red and we got green. See if we can't get blue before we're done for today. Well, that is it for this trip. In all honesty, not too bad. We ended up with 3 flags, caught 2 of the fish, and both were pretty decent sized bass. So not a bad trip. All right, we made it back home. So let's go ahead and talk about the Watchtower. We'll talk about everything. There's a fair amount to talk about. And then I'll go ahead and give my final opinion at the end. So the Watchtower, you're ideally buying this for the low light conditions and nighttime. It does work in the day, but the light isn't going to be nearly as useful as it is at night. As far as the light goes, works phenomenally. It is so incredibly bright. I think the farthest we would sit from our tip-ups was probably 60 to 70 yards, and you could easily see it. Easily. The entire lake is going to know if you have a fish pop this thing. That's how bright it is. So if you're looking for something that really shines, that's this guy. It does shine in 360 because those LEDs are wrapped. So that's great in case you move positions or anything else like that. You don't have to move the tip up or reposition it or anything like that. So that's awesome. It is a large, so you can see it from very, very far away, and those LEDs are incredibly, incredibly bright. So if that's what you're looking for, this is wonderful. This thing does take a little bit more maintenance than your typical tip up though. So you obviously have batteries. We didn't have any sort of leakage of water into the compartment, so that was great, but I would recommend probably taking those batteries out at least at the end of the season so you don't end up with any sort of corrosion and then kind of destroy your tip up for what you bought it for, and that's the light. So a little bit of maintenance as far as that goes. We didn't have any issues with battery longevity sitting out there in the cold or anything else like that. It worked every single time that we had a flag pop. So I don't know how long they would work, but it definitely worked for multiple trips. So there's that. I do have a concern with potentially the durability with this. It's completely molded in plastic. I didn't drop it, thankfully. But I don't know if it would survive being dropped on the ice. If it cracks, I don't know if this would still work. So that has a little bit of concern for me. I assume that they probably thought of that, and they gave you a protective bag. It is padded, very, very nice. I do like that. That being said, that also takes a little bit more maintenance. After one of the trips, I had this tip up that was wet, put in the bag, forgot when I got home to take it out, and it started to rust already on the spring and the line holder. And we've only had it for a couple trips. There's actually a rust spot inside the bag also. So with these, you do have a little bit more maintenance. With a typical round tip up, you just throw them, or I've just thrown them in a bucket, and there's enough airflow in there for them just to go ahead and dry out pretty naturally. But this, I mean, it's been hours since we've been off the lake, and it's still wet from being inside that bag. So I would most certainly take them home, make sure that they're dry before you put them away for good before your next trip. But yeah, not ideal as far as that goes. These things are pretty much indestructible. I've had plenty of these tip-ups for 5 to 10 years and never had an issue. I've dropped them. Some of them have cracked, but obviously there's no other components to it to really mess with it, so they still work. I would be nervous if we dropped this out on the ice that something would become dislodged or it would just crack open and no longer work. It does shine in 3 different colors. I do like that. I don't know when it would be super necessary unless you were out with a group of people that all had these. And obviously you could all pick your own colors so that people would know whose flags are whose. But that'd be kind of cool. But I don't think I'm going to fish with anybody else that probably has this. So let's go ahead and talk about price. This thing is $115 to $120. I bought mine around Black Friday at a site that had some sale, so I think I got mine right around $100, but that is substantially more expensive than one of these round ones. From Fraybill, Clam's got their own, just regular ones that aren't lighted, and for these you're probably paying anywhere from $20 to maybe $35. So you could buy 3 of these easily for the price of one of these. That being said, if you wanted to, you could also customize this with a bell like I typically do, or a light, add-on for still substantially cheaper than one of these guys. So that being said, I guess in my opinion, if you are someone that really, really wants a bright, shining tip up and do a ton of fishing at night and whatnot, this is probably not a bad thing. It works really, really well. I like it a lot as far as that goes. Even myself, I don't think I fish enough at night to justify buying 3 of these, to fill out the number of lines I can use. So this will probably be the only one I have, but yeah. So I guess I would recommend, if you were the average ice angler and fish occasionally at night or something like that, buy your regular tip-ups, put a light on there, hope it works. Sometimes it has worked for me, sometimes it doesn't. You can go ahead and put a bell on those. It's super low maintenance, and those do a relatively decent job of at least notifying you a little bit. Or I would just keep them a little bit closer to where you could check on those a little bit more often. But I guess that would be my opinion. If you guys have bought this, by all means, drop your opinions or comments down below. Yeah, I just wanted to give everybody an opportunity to kind of see what these are like before spending that much money on a tip up, or if you bought multiple of them, that'd be a lot. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. As always, if you guys like the video, if you wouldn't mind liking, and if you want to see more videos like it, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd be greatly appreciated also. Till the next one.